Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. It's Meg from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. Today we are going to talk about the sun sign season of Taurus, which starts at 10:45 a.m. on April 19th. Goes through May 19th. Lots of planetary action going on. Before I get into that, excuse my cough. As many of you know, I have had the virus and I'm doing much better. My energy level is still, but working on it. It's getting better every day. So I want to thank those of you that reached out to me with your energy, with good thoughts, prayers, some that reached out with well wishes, called and checked on me. I really appreciate all of it. I really do. It was very uplifting and very helpful on a healing energetic level. So, still have the cough though. All right, so take a moment if you could and hit that thumbs up. I really want to encourage you to connect your energy to mine through either leaving me a comment or hitting the thumbs up if you're a subscriber, hitting the notification bell so you know when I notify, so you'll be notified when I upload videos. Before I get into the video, I always sit and meditate on your sign, and I write out the names of everybody who has commented so that I can really tap into your energy. So let's talk about real quick what the planets are doing, then we'll get into your channeled message, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what the cards are bringing up today. So couple things. This Venus has moved into Gemini, and she doesn't like it there. And since Taurus is your 7th house of partnerships, this could be very significant for you. Venus is going to slow down and go retrograde on May 12th. So she's slowing down, getting ready to turn retrograde in a sign she doesn't like. So communication around love this season is tough. It is some tough energy. She's not even going to be direct until June 25th. So during a Venus retrograde, things to watch out for. Don't make risky business investments. Don't think anybody's really doing that right now anyway. Exes can come back. Be discerning with that. Sometimes it's a good thing, and it's an opportunity to have the conversations that needed to be had. And sometimes it means that now you can release and let go and move forward. Sometimes it means, hey, maybe we give this a shot again. But be discerning. Relationships that start during this time frame are unlikely to hold on and be long term. So if something shows up in your life and it's hot and it's heavy, I got news for you. Enjoy it while it lasts, but don't be putting all your eggs in that basket, so to speak. If you're in a long-term relationship and you really want to keep it together, this is a time where you really need to be communicating clearly. You need to be putting the time in. You need to be making the effort. You need to be showing the love, and you need to be listening and reading between the lines, because communication is kind of hard. Relationships can really take a hit during this time. If you have a relationship that is on its way out the door, this could be the catalyst that just kicks it in the butt and sends it on out. So it's a dicey time. So unless you're really sure, don't break up. Write it out if you can. It could pass. It could be an energy that passes. But if it's something you've already decided, you might find that this is it, and you're like, yeah, no, bring the hammer down. Okay, so we have Mars. Mars is in Aquarius, and Mars in Aquarius is still good energy, especially thought-wise. And so there's a lot of opportunity here for you to do a lot of planning. This would be your 4th house. Yes. This is 4th house for you. And this is around the house and the home. So lots of, well, you're home, right? We're all home. So it's an opportunity for you to like be thinking about how things are set up at home, how you're managing things, all the things that go with that. So then Pisces will move in, Mars will move into Pisces on May 12th, the same day that Venus goes retrograde. and then the energy gets sluggish and slow. So take advantage of the next few weeks to try to think clearly, to lay some plans, to figure things out, because it's going to get murky after that. The North Node, if you have a strong Sagittarius or Gemini in your chart, the North Node is moving into Gemini, which means the South Node is moving into Sagittarius. And so there's going to be, that's where the eclipses are going to be happening for you. That South Node eclipses that happen, there's one that comes up right after we get into Gemini that's happening in Sagittarius. That's in your second house of finances, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. So that one should rattle your cage a little, I think, and it is a time for releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves. So that, coupled with the energy of Venus in retrograde, Mars, I mean, there's just, okay, so we'll talk about that more when we get to Gemini, but that's a thing. Okay, so new moon is happening on April 22nd in your 7th house of partnerships. Good time to think about where it is that you want to plant your seeds of attention with either business partnerships, one-on-one, or intimate partnerships. But that week, the energy is really dicey. But still, plant the seeds of attention. Just, hang in there. It's not going to be an easy week. Neither is when the full moon happens in Scorpio on May 7th, because it's that same energy revisited because of the way the planets are lining up. So it's squaring off with some really tough energies. And so, again, it is a good time, though, to let go of things that do not serve you in the house of you. What do you need to let go of? What doesn't work for you? Mercury is in Aries, and it's moving into Taurus, so that's your 6th house, work-life balance, communication, into your 7th house of partnerships, and then into your 8th house of transformation on May 11th. And so lots of communication about these things, like how do you balance this all out? How do you make this all work for yourself? It's very fast-moving. Doesn't retrograde until June, and so quick, lots of things happening. Clear communication is really possible. Mercury's at home in Gemini, your 8th house, but again, because of the setup there with Venus, it could be a little murky, especially around relationships. So good news, we have planets going retrograde. Right now, that's actually a really good thing. We need some of this energy to slow its butt down. Let's take a look at the mess that's left behind. It's like this tornado came through, and now we need to go through and pick up through it and see what's salvageable and what isn't. So Pluto going retrograde on April 25th is until October 4th is a really good time to say, okay, so all these things shook out. What is valuable? What is worth keeping? What is worth building on? What is worth rebuilding? And what is just going to the road? Needs to go out of here, right? It's that kind of an energy. So then we also have Saturn going retrograde on May 11th for a few months. Again, a chance to review and reorganize in the area of structures and how you have things set up. It's in Aquarius, but July 1st it gets into Capricorn. So it's in Capricorn for a couple of months, going back over some of that ground. So giving you a chance to pick up the pieces and restructure things. We also have Jupiter going retrograde on May 14th. Good time to take a look at your plans. What did you envision for success? Where do you want to go? Especially given all the changes that are happening. So the last week of Taurus season sets up for the next few months a chance to really kind of reevaluate our lives. Good days to mark on your calendar. April 26th. I'm laughing because it's in your 7th house of partnerships. Holy crap. Okay, so the sun is going to conjunct with Uranus, which is all about sudden, explosive changes, chaotic, out of nowhere. Could be a good thing, could not be a good thing. So you might want to just circle that one on your calendar and be aware that that's happening. April 30th, though, really good day for creative endeavors, just the energy around that. So that one gets a star. Then May 3rd, Venus squares, which is really tough energy, with Neptune, which is all about releasing and letting go. And so whatever you hear around love relationships that day, you really should just take with a grain of salt, hold your breath, don't say anything back, wait a day, because on May 4th, then the sun is in conjunction with Mercury, which makes communication a lot clearer, a lot easier to respond instead of reacting to whatever happens there on May 3rd. Excuse me. All right, so that pretty much covers the month, except for May 17th, which has great energy of Jupiter being in a trine with the sun. Hopefully the world will be opened up and you can get out with your friends and have some fun that day, because that would be a good day for it. All right, so your vision. Wow, I can't even tell you. I didn't want to get out of yours. You guys always have the most fascinating ones. Really, you do, because you guys have just been going through so many transitions, but this one was so cool. I saw a big Arabian stallion, and he was thundering across this windswept grassy knoll, just thundering, and he was black, and then he was white, and then he was gray, and then he was black, and then he was white, and then he was gray. Kept changing colors. So black is action, white is thoughts, and of course it's also shadow and light. And gray is the balance of the thoughts and the actions, the balance of the shadow and the light, and coming into acceptance of who you are. It's so beautiful. It's how do I explain this? It is finding the balance. It is that love and self-acceptance that you guys have been working so hard on. So the first thing I heard was thought precedes action. And then I heard integrating. There was the word I was looking for, and it's right here in my notes. Integrating the shadow and the light. That's how the gray comes around, right? It's the integration of the shadow and the light. It is accepting and loving all of the parts of you. This is what you guys have been working on for so long. And it's coming together. And that it would be happening while the sun is in your 7th house of relationships. It is going to be reflected in there. And so when you accept and love all the parts of you, and that sets you up for the ability to have the kind of relationships where you have enough self-love and enough self-confidence that you can accept who you are and attract in the energy of someone who accepts who you are. So really beautiful, really nice. There is for you going on, I heard the karmic clearing. So this is what you guys have been doing. Oh gosh, how do I explain this? All right, the higher your soul's vibrational energy, okay, the tougher your life lessons are, because you, one, can do it, and two, it is that I need to clear this karma. We decide what we're going to do before we get here, right? Before we reincarnate into this lifetime, we have a plan. And Scorpios, you guys pick the hardest plans. Holy moly. All right, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to clear this karma. I am going to learn these hard lessons. I am going to learn to love myself, and that is such a hard one. That is probably the hardest one of all. Right, that integration of accepting the shadow and the light, because Scorpio, you see the shadows and you see the light in everyone, and so you see it in yourself more starkly than some other signs do. And so accepting and loving the shadow side of you and understanding that it makes you 3D, 4D, 5D, understanding that it gives you dimensionality. You are not just laying flat on the paper like Flat Stanley. This is the beautiful part about this. And so hard struggles, definitely. Silver birch came up. Silver birch is all about that deep cleansing too. So you have this deep cleansing cycle that you are in. Get into your physical body. Take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Choose the cleanest, healthiest food you can. You are going through a transition and your body needs to be supported through this. So this month, get out and walk, be out in nature, get yourself grounded, take the saltwater baths, do the meditative breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you breathe in through the nose, you fill out your belly, and when you expel it, nice and slow, so like 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, feel your belly flattening back up. Bring yourself back to the breath. Bring yourself back to your body. Yoga would be really good for this. But even if you just sit and you breathe, Put your back against a tree. If you can find a silver birch, excellent. You are clearing out in this lifetime. Oh, I started itching before I turned on the camera, and it's just getting worse. Spirit is really here. The relationship and partnership issues of your life has been so much in focus, and there's a reason for that. That's what you came here to do. That's the tough stuff. You picked the tough stuff, and you couldn't have done it if you can't do it. So you wouldn't have picked doing this if you weren't capable. You're capable. You have help. You have guidance. Be sure to ask your angels for help and guidance. You are not in this alone. There is a lot of help for you. But you picked some tough stuff. You really did. All right. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you're still with me, that's great. All right, so here we go. This is past, present, future, thoughts, feelings, actions. This is the key to the situation, and this is your overall energy. You have the wolf spirit, and the wolf spirit is about taking those hard lessons that you have been going through and distilling them down into wisdom. The things that you have gone through in your life, the hard stuff, that is where the wisdom comes from. That is the wisdom. You can tap into wisdoms of lifetimes. You ask your higher self for guidance. You can tap into that energy, and you can also take the experiences that you've been going through in this lifetime, and you use that to create more wisdom for the next lifetime and to use in this one. Wolves are interesting because they run in packs, and they also pair off, and they'll also go singly. And you learn lessons of different kinds at each stage of that, right? And so, where are you now? I don't know. But we are talking about a big metamorphosis, a big change in your relationship sector over this course of this month. You have the time. Oh, this is beautiful. You have the time right now to focus on that, right? With the world so shut down. Some of us are still working. I say us, not me. But there are people who are working daily, and they're working super hard, and maybe they don't have time to breathe. Try to find and create the space if that is your life. So look at this. In the key to the situation, you have the scarab beetle spirit. Magic works through you. Magic works through you. You know, when I saw you running across the field there, oh my God, you were powerful and gorgeous, and there was so much beauty in that action. It was magical. Magic works through you by integrating who your thoughts and your shadow and your light and your feelings and the actions you take. You create magic. It's beautiful. In the recent past, you were seeking more information about what means home to you. We have the wombat spirit. Wombats are really interesting. Their butts are numb. So what they do is when they have young in their little den, they will park their butt toward the door of the den and, babysit, take care of their young, whatever you want to call it, parent. And if the hyenas are attacking, they'll be biting at the butt of the wombat, but the wombat's butt is numb and doesn't feel it, so they just stay there. They have no idea. They don't care. Eventually, the hyenas will go away. So, struggling to figure out what is home for you when you feel under attack, when you're being under attack, and maybe you're feeling a little numb about what means home to me, and trying to figure that out. What's important to me. And by home, it could be where you actually physically live, but I feel like this is more of like what feels like home in me, what relationships feel like home to me, what does home mean to you, and that is something that you need to sort out. So things are going to be happening quickly here, I think, for you, because you have think on your feet as the way that you transform your life. The fox spirit, think on your feet. And so that means this changes are happening quickly, and you are definitely going to have to be a little bit up on your toes and paying attention. And look, new beginning coming for you. You have the porcupine spirit. Time for a beginner's mind. Time for a new beginning. And you know, when they're under attack, they shed their quills, right? And then they have to regrow them. It's a new time. So letting go of what doesn't work, or letting go in order to protect yourself, and yet being willing to still go out there and start something new, create what you really want in the future. And so here you are in the area of the heart. You've been struggling over whether or not there is enough. But the koi fish spirit says there's always enough. There is always enough love. There is always enough money. There is always enough time. Everything that you need, there is enough of it, and there is more on the way. You can't run out of these things. Not even time. You won't go until it's your time. A lot of people have been passing away from this virus, but it was their time. It may not have felt like it to those of us who are left behind. But we choose. We do. And in the heart space for you, love is all around. In the future, recognizing that love is all around. And how is love all around? Because when you love yourself, all of yourself, then you are surrounded by love all the time because you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you're at that high vibrational energy, and you attract and draw love to you. The obstacle here is we got rebirth as a shore. The obstacle is that you aren't sure. Oh my God, is this ever going to end? Is there really a new beginning? Am I going to figure this out? And the answer to that is yes, you are going to be able to take this experience and turn it into wisdom. Magic works through you, and you have the new beginner's mind here. So yes, think about what it is that you want to create, because what you think about, you bring about. So if you allow yourself to remain stuck in energy and in self-doubt of, I don't think there's enough, I don't know what is home, I don't know, is there a new beginning, is this any of this real? If you keep thinking like that, then you are delaying the process. So believe in the future. Believe in what you want. Be willing to think on your feet, create what you want in the moment, and head that way. And so here's the action step for you. It's time to take a deep dive. This is a deep dive into your soul. This is a deep dive into a situation. This is looking at something, like really looking at it. Not in a casual way, but deeply. Really becoming intimately aware of all the details. And so here in the future, you have nothing is wasted. The vulture spirit. You did not waste your time. You did not waste your love. You did not waste your resources, because you were learning, you were growing, you were doing the soul's work you came here to do. And now it's time to integrate, right? The stallion, black, white, gray, black, white, gray. It is time to integrate the knowledge and the wisdom into wisdom. It is time to take these experiences and go, okay, this is what I've learned, and I really learned it, and I understand this, and I accept myself. Love is all around. I accept who I am. I have a beginner's mind. I'm willing to believe that there's a new cycle, there's a new opportunity, there's a new place to go, there's a new way to grow here. I need to plug in my computer. I'm going to be really mad. I have to do 2 parts here. It's not plugging in. That's the problem. Oh, there we go. Sometimes when I plug in, it cuts off. But it looks like it's not going to do that, so I'm relieved. Okay. Whew. All right. A little more guidance here. And in case you're wondering, I don't have any viruses on my computer. Okay, so you have the bison in the area of thoughts, the abundance, sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life, fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. The overall energy, I think, for Aries was the buffalo. I've seen a lot of these cards today in other signs. This one is unique. This is unique. Actually, about half of yours are, but the other half I've seen. So be sure to check out your sun, your moon, and your rising, because I think there's going to be crossover messages. I think Swan Spirit was the key to the situation for Taurus. Vulture Spirit was the key to the situation for another sign. Maybe Gemini? I don't know. So be sure to check these out. All right, so you have moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, calm your emotions and reassure yourself that peace of mind is possible. So when I say that we work with the energy of the moon, I'm thinking of changing the way I say that, because it isn't just the energy of the moon. There is energy to all the cycles of life. And this is what this card is saying right now. That everything is in a cycle right now. Trust in the cycle that you're in. Flow with it. Do the work. Integrate. Do the deep dive. It is the cycle that you're supposed to be in. But see this? If you focus on the abundance, if you have the beginner's mind, if you focus on where it is you want to go, if you're willing to think on your feet and make the changes, which is hard for fixed signs, but you can do it. So, if you focus and if you're patient, the action step here you have is the Kingfisher, be focused and be patient, and the Ant, cooperate for the highest good of the community, in relationships, business or personal. There is a need to work with the people that you're in relationship with for the best outcome. Whether that is putting a business or a relationship together or dismantling it. Either way, there's a need to work in cooperation for the best and the highest good of all. When you align with your true self, when you are willing to do that deep dive, when you listen to your higher self, which resides inside of you, when you do that, when you come into alignment with yourself, you'll know what to do. You'll be vibrating at the right level. Be willing to think on your feet. Be willing to make the changes. So, you need to meditate. I guess I didn't say that enough, or maybe at all. They're saying that. So you have Apophyllite. I meditate regularly. I am insightful. My connection with universal wisdom guides me daily. Apophyllite is, this shows this as green. The one I have here is more of a rose colored. It's found in copper mines. I was digging around in a copper mine trash pile when I was in middle school, and I found that. And I thought it was beautiful. And then I found out it was apophyllite. I'm like, whoa, look at that. So I meditate regularly. I'm insightful. My connection with the universal wisdom guides me daily. And you have hematite. It is easy for me to quiet my mind, maintain my awareness. I can find my inner peace. It's a very shiny, beautiful stone. Very mercurial looking, like it's communication with your higher self. So get in touch with your higher self. Focus. Be patient. The changes are happening. The integration of knowledge into wisdom will take some time. Journaling is a really good way to get there too, by the way. Anything else? You have the longest reading of the day. Scorpio, you deserve it. You guys work really hard with everything that you do. You have such a monumental soul process that you've been working through. Keep at it. Because every time I do your reading, I see progress. It's always moving forward. You didn't waste any time. You didn't waste any resources. You didn't waste any love. You learned something from all of it. All right. And speaking of the moon energy, I'll be back on Monday with the weeklies for the moon energy to see how they will play out for you. Much shorter readings, the weeklies. I will talk to you then. You take care. Have a great month.